everyone, myself Ami Mehta, and in computer network, let us discuss what is connection oriented transport, which is TCP. So what is connection oriented transport and which is TCP protocol? Let us discuss it. So the transmission TCP, the transmission control protocol, is the most common transport layer protocol. So the full form of TCP is Transmission Control Protocol. Note, it is Transport Control Protocol. It is Transmission Control Protocol, and which is the most common transport layer protocol. It works together with IP and provides a reliable transport service between processes using the network layer services provided by the IP protocol. Because we need reliable service, reliable data transfer, we can use TCP. So the various services provided by the TCP to the application layer are as follows. Because the TCP are in the transport layer, and above the transport layer there is a application layer. If we are talking about protocol or TCP IP reference model. So the process to process communication. TCP provides process to process communication. That means the transfer of data takes place between individual processes executing on end system. So basically TCP provides a process to process communication, and it indicates that how actually the transfer of data takes place whenever individual process executing on the end systems. So this is done using port numbers and port address. So the most important, this process to process communication which are on the different system is take place using port numbers or port addresses. Port numbers are 16-bit long that help identify which process is sending or receiving data on a host. So it is a 16-bit long number, and that help identify which process is sending or receiving data on a host. Now, it also provides service like stream oriented. This means that the data is sent and received as a stream of bytes, not like UDP that divides the bit into datagrams or packets. So the data is sent and received as a stream of bytes. It is not divided into datagrams or packets. However, the network layer that provides service for the TCP sends packets or information, not stream of bytes. So the data receiving from network layer to transport layer is in form of packets. It is not in a form of stream of bytes. So hence what the task of TCP? So TCP groups a number of bytes together into a segment and adds a header to each of this segment, and then deliver this segment to the network layer. Now at the network layer, each of these segments are encapsulated in an IP packet of transmission. So TCP are grouping a number of bytes together into a segment, and then it add a header to each of this segment, and then it deliver this segment to the network layer. But what happened at the network layer? So that edge of this segment are encapsulated. The TCP header has information that is required for control purpose, which will be discussed along with the segment structure. So that we will discuss when we are discussing a segment structure. Another service is full duplex service. This means that the communication can take place in both directions at the same time. It also provides connection oriented services. In UDP, there is no connection oriented services. So in TCP, it provides three different phases. First is connection establishment, then data transfer, and that connection termination. So this is connection oriented services provided by TCP. It also provides reliability. So TCP is reliable as it uses checksum for error detection, attempts to recover lots of corrupted packets by retransmission, acknowledgement policy, and timers. It uses features like byte number and sequence number and acknowledgement number so as to ensure reliability. And also it uses congestion control mechanism. So in this protocol, it uses checksum, it uses recover of lost or corrupted packet by retransmission, then acknowledgement policy, then it uses features like byte number, sequence number, and acknowledgement. It also provides congestion control. So all this facility becomes TCP as it provides reliability. So TCP provides reliability just because it doing checksum for error detection. It attempts to recover lost or corrupted packets by retransmission. It has acknowledgement policy. All this feature makes it reliable. It also provides multiplexing. TCP does multiplexing and demultiplexing at the sender and receiver ends respectively, as a number of logical connection can be established between port numbers over a physical connection. So, byte number, sequence number and acknowledgement number. So all the data bytes that are to be transmitted are numbered and the beginning of this numbering is arbitrary. Sequence numbers are given to the segment so as to reassemble the bytes at the receiver end even if they arrive in a different order. All this facility but obvious provided by this protocol, that's why it is reliable protocol. And sequence number of a segment is the byte number of the first byte that is being sent. Acknowledgement number is required since TCP provides full duplex service, two-way communication. And the acknowledgement number is the next byte number that the receiver expects to receive, which also provides acknowledgement for receiving the previous bytes. So for example, it receives second byte, then the acknowledgement number is 3. It means it receives second byte, now send the third byte. Now this is the segment structure of TCP. This is header, this is data, what actually header consists. So TCP segment consists of data bytes to be sent and a header that is added the data by TCP. So this is the header, and what is in header, let us discuss. So this is source port address 16 bits, this is destination port address 16 bits, sequence number, acknowledgement number, HLEN header length, reserve bits. Now this is the different purpose for the single bit. Now we discuss that. The window size, urgent pointer, checksum, option and padding up to 40 bytes. So let us discuss it one by one. So the header of a TCP segment can range from 20 to 60 bytes. So 40 bytes are for options. If there are no option, header is of 20 bytes, else it can be of upmost 60 bytes. So if the header of a TCP segment is 20 bytes, it means there is no option. But if there is option, it becomes up to 60 bytes. So let us discuss header fields. First is source port address. So a 16-bit field that holds the port address of the application that is sending the data segment. Destination port address. So it is 16-bit field that holds the port address of the application in the host that is receiving the data segment. Next is sequence number. So 32-bit field that holds the sequence number, that means the byte number of the first byte that is sent in that particular segment. and it is used for what? For reassemble the message again. So sequence number is of 32 bit field, and it is the byte number of the first byte, and it is used for reassemble the message at the receiving side. The next is acknowledgement number. So the 32-bit field that holds the acknowledgement number, that means the byte number that the receiver expects to receive next. So we discussed that if it is a third byte, it means it received the second byte, now send the third byte. So it is an acknowledgement for the previous byte being received successfully. Now the next one is header length. This is a 4-bit field that indicates the length of the TCP header by number of 4-byte words in the header. That means if the header is of 20 bytes, so the minimum length of TCP header, then this field will hold 5, because 5 multiplied by 4 is equal to 20, and the maximum length 60 bytes, then it will hold the value 15, because 15 multiplied by 4 is equal to 60. Hence the value of this field is always between 5 and 15. So if anyone asks the question like that, what is the range of header length in TCP protocols, then it always between 5 and 15. Now there are 6 1-bit control bits that control connection establishment, that is control flags, that is here we see. So this is a 6-bit different control flags. Let us discuss it one by one. So the URG, so it is for urgent pointer is valid. If it is 1, it is valid. If it is 0, it is nothing. SEK it is for acknowledgement number is valid. PSH, request for push, so it may be either 1 or either 0. So if it is 1, then it is, this condition is true, otherwise not. Then for reset the connection, RST, for SYN, synchronize sequence number, FIN, terminate the connection. So these all 6 are listed here in this segment: URG, SEK, PSH, RST, SYN and FIN. Now the next field is window size. So this field tells the window size of the sending TCP in bytes. Then checksum. This field holds the checksum for error control, and it is mandatory in TCP as opposed to UDP, because we want TCP protocol as a reliable protocol. The next one is urgent pointer. This field is used to point the data that is urgently required, that needs to reach the receiving process at the earliest. So the value of this field is added to the sequence number to get the byte number of the last. So this is in case we want that some data, is sent immediately, then this field is used. Okay, so this is all about connection oriented transport TCP protocol, transmission control protocol. Unlike UDP, it is provide reliability, and it is also stream oriented protocol. It is also connection oriented protocol. Okay, thank you.